Now, if they're in our company, will get themselves ready in the best. But if you notice there's a circus going on there, things are always more holy when you wear a dress to do them. I don't know why that is. I don't know. Massimo Pigliucci. Now, Mr. Massimo has Dr. Massimo, double, triple, third, quadruple. Dr. Massimo.
You look so cute like that.
I must reveal to you that between us, Massimo and I combine all knowledge. Massimo knows everything there is to know, and I know the rest. But at any rate, he is asked to be debaptized by Edwin in a pathway we have worked up. And I will call out to our audience to ask if there is anyone else who may. Let me say to you that you do not have to do this. You do not have to be debaptized.
We know who you are.
Those who join in will ultimately die. Those who do not join in will ultimately die. If you want to stay safe, stay seated. If you want to stay safer, stay at home. But if you are interested, I will say a few things. Now, you may think that just because you were now, you know, the mere fact that you think you were born in an atheist home does not necessarily make you, and being debaptized does not make you any. You are no more an atheist for being born in an atheist home than being born in a garage makes you an automobile. You understand that? You understand that? Okay, sinners, become solemn. You've seen the dance of the back in their burkas again. Again, it's the libretto is contained within the pages of the Bottles of Blasphemy, second edition. And the words, of course, are, you know what the words are. We were driving back from Washington, D.C., my Helen and I, from some radical liberal type thing aimed at destroying God and religion and public life. And she said, in Afghanistan, now that we've restored democracy and peace to those troubled people, they've got them back in their burkas again. She said, back in their burkas again, back in their saddle, and there it went. We had the song written by the time we got home. Okay, now, sinners become again solemn, for we now proceed into the long-awaited ceremony of debaptism, and under the presentation of the certificates thereof. You have a certificate, I may show them, of debaptism?
Oh, yeah.
There are the certificates thereof of debaptism.
Makes it official.
To be followed by the feast of the consumption of holy hosts or of Triscuits with honey and peanut butter. For it is said that man shall not live by bread alone, but must also have peanut butter. We were going to have guacamole, but we forgot it. Then we could have had, dare we say, holy guacamole. But I think first maybe I ought to read you my blasphemy about Easter, since tomorrow is Easter. You want to hear about Easter? Tom Flynn touched on Easter. I will read you my blasphemy on Easter. And then I will get on with this thing, okay? On Easter, the things you're liable to read in the Bible, they ain't necessarily so. Porgy and Bess. Easter is the high holy day of the Christian religion. In its many manifestations, Easter celebrates the myth of the reanimation from death of the God Jesus, aka the Christ. Unlike its womb-mate Christmas, is a marvelous blend of Christian and non-Christian nonsense. The Christian side is represented by Handel's Messiah and hot cross buns, a seasonal pastry with a sugar cross on it, and the non-Christian nonsense side by In Your Easter Bonnet and hunts for Easter eggs. Dyed boiled eggs in the shell. These have been laid, young minds are taught to believe, by rabbits. Some hold the rabbits don't lay the eggs, only deliver them. What do you think? To understand the phenomena of Easter, one must understand the Christian Gospels. These four small propagandistic texts, written long after the supernatural fact by unknown authors who did not know Jesus, contain the only known evidence for the existence of Jesus. Believers will argue other historic proofs, but these are provable forgeries added centuries later by pious priests who copied or translated Jewish, Roman, and Greek texts. If the ancient writers had deliberately omitted Jesus merely because they had never heard of him, this error was often fixed for later Christian editions. The only evidence for Christian beliefs comes from the Gospels. Now, I'm going to skip this because Tom Flynn very clearly told you all of the contradictions and try to make a coherent test. I don't know whether he stole it from me or I stole it from him. It doesn't matter. It's true in either case. The reason the death of Jesus is of importance to Christians is because, you may not know this, if they believe Jesus died for their sins, they get to live forever with him when they die. Because Jesus survived death, believers will somehow too. Somehow, Jesus' sacrifice doesn't seem like such a big deal. Being a God and all, and getting to come alive again after being dead only 1 day and 2 nights. Many people have died for others and have stayed dead. There should be no shortage of volunteers willing to die to save everyone and be worshipped to God if they could come alive after being dead between Friday evening and Sunday morning. Once you finish the Bible stories about Jesus, you may well wonder how anyone could believe this stuff. And you should understand why the events were omitted from every other history of that time. When Jesus died on the stake, the Bible reports that it was stake, by the way, not cross in Greek. When Jesus died on the stake, the Bible reports that dead people came out of their graves, whether decomposed or not isn't revealed, walked around the city and were recognized by many. This should have provoked some interest by the scandal sheets of the day. But no other reference is found of it. We might wonder if the risen dead sued to get their property back from their useless heirs. Now there's a question for our corporate counsel. Could they have sued to get their property back from their useless heirs? You will note from your Easter biblical studies that the primary witness to the resurrection of the Christ was one Mary Magdalene, a woman thought to be a prostitute who had been possessed by 7 demons, i.e. she was nuts. Wouldn't it have been nice if the risen Savior of the world had appeared in all his glory to the Roman Senate, where literate, rational humanists could have recorded an accurate account of this miracle? Why have your immortal soul hang in the balance on less than credible evidence? Should one accept that laws of nature have been broken and that a dead body has come alive again on the word of a deranged hooker? Would a just, rational, compassionate God condemn one to eternal torment for doubting such evidence? Clearly the Senate or even a meeting of the Aqueduct Committee would have been a better place to break the good news of salvation. But we are not dealing with a rational God or even decent moral behavior in the Easter story. The God the myth says was the father of Jesus believed in child sacrifice. Previously content with blood drained from the slashed throats of sheep, goats, and such, this God needed more gore to save everyone. He wanted his own kid killed in a blood sacrifice for the sins of the world. This is what little children, parentheses kids, are taught in Sunday school, that's where Christians violate the 4th commandment by worshiping on the first day of the week and the 7th as Yahweh ordered. No wonder we are in such trouble, But if child murder for the sins of others isn't bad enough, consider this. Christians celebrate the death and rebirth of the God Jesus in a grotesque cannibalistic ritual of symbolically of Protestant, for real of Roman Catholic, eating his flesh and drinking his blood. This bizarre custom is known as Holy Communion. Dare we call it swallow the leader?